This is the lecture for Lab 8, Photosynthesis. This figure shows the balanced equation for photosynthesis. For photosynthesis to occur, we need carbon dioxide, water, light energy, and then that goes through a series of reactions to produce glucose and oxygen gas. Photosynthesis is a metabolic process that converts light energy and then stores it as sugar. Photosynthesis occurs in the chloroplasts in plant cells. Photosynthesis also involves gas exchange. Carbon dioxide is going to enter the leaf, oxygen and water vapor are going to exit the leaf via the stomata, which are small holes on the underside of the leaf. Oxidation is the loss of electrons, and during the process of photosynthesis, water is oxidized. Reduction is the gain of electrons, and during the process of photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is reduced. This figure shows the overall process of photosynthesis, and there are two stages in this process. The first are called the light-dependent reactions, and the second process are the light-independent reactions, or the Calvin cycle. And also in this process, you can see what is required for photosynthesis to occur. You need water and carbon dioxide, and of course, light energy. Water is required for the light-dependent reactions, and those light-dependent reactions are going to generate some ATP and electron carriers, NADPH. And the waste product is oxygen gas. The ATP and electron carriers, NADPH, that are generated during the light reactions are going to be required to take the carbon dioxide and run it through the Calvin cycle to form glucose. The light-dependent reactions, they occur in the thylakoids, and the thylakoids are found in the chloroplast. And for the light-dependent reactions, it requires chlorophyll and other pigments to absorb solar energy. Once that energy is absorbed, then it is converted into chemical energy. And that chemical energy is in the form of ATP and the electron carrier NADPH. And in the light-dependent reactions, there are two photosystems that are harvesting the light energy. So this is an example of the thylakoid membrane. These are the stacks, granum are the stacks of thylakoids in the chloroplast, and this is an example of a photosystem. It is a group of chlorophyll and other pigments that will absorb the solar energy. In the light reactions, there are two types of photosystems. There is the water-splitting photosystem and the NADPH producing photosystem. And both of these photosystems involve chlorophyll and other pigments that are absorbing light energy. The first photosystem, or the water-splitting photosystem, is actually photosystem 2. It absorbs the light energy, and then that gives this photosystem enough energy to split water. So the waste product is going to be the oxygen. The first photosystem 1, which occurs second, is the NADPH producing photosystem, and again using chlorophylls to absorb light energy, and the main purpose of this photosystem is to produce NADPH. So NADPH is produced here, and those are electron carriers. The Calvin cycle is the second part of photosynthesis. And the Calvin cycle is also often referred to as the light-independent reactions. And this occurs in the stroma, which is the liquid part of the chloroplast. And the purpose of the Calvin cycle is to assemble sugar molecules using the carbon dioxide and the light-dependent reaction products. This figure goes through the process of the Calvin cycle, also known as the light-independent reactions. And in this process, 3 carbon dioxide molecules are going to be converted into 1 glucose molecule. And to do this, it requires energy that was generated in the light-dependent reactions. And that energy is in the form of ATP and also electron carriers, NADPH. So together, using this energy that was harvested during the light-dependent reactions, that energy is going to fix carbon dioxide into an organic molecule, glucose. So a review of the process of photosynthesis, it involves two steps: the light-dependent reactions, where water and solar energy, light energy, is required to produce ATP and NADPH. And the waste product is oxygen. Then this energy that is harvested during the light-dependent reactions will then be used to fix carbon dioxide into glucose. And these reactions are the light-independent reactions, or also known as the Calvin cycle. For lab experiment 1, you will be using an indicator, the hydrogen carbonate indicator, which is a pH indicator. It tends to be about yellow at pH of 7.6 and changes color to be purple at a pH of 9.2. And this will be important because as carbon dioxide is added to a liquid, the pH will decrease. So looking at the hydrogen carbonate indicator, that will give you a general understanding of the levels of carbon dioxide in the liquid. The organisms you will be using in this lab are algae. They are unicellular organisms that can perform photosynthesis. And the first thing you will do is gather these algae cells together into balls, sort of like gelatin balls, and then you will place them in vials with a solution and to determine if photosynthesis is taking place or not. The second photosynthetic organism you will be using are leaves of spinach. And for this experiment, you will need to cut out little circles of spinach, leaf discs of spinach, and then infiltrate them using a syringe. And to infiltrate, what that means is you are going to force the gas out of the discs and replace it with the liquid. So we will be doing that in class. As a review, the overall equation for photosynthesis is that you begin with the reactants, carbon dioxide and water. Then using light energy, the carbon dioxide can be fixed into an organic molecule called glucose, and oxygen gas is released as a waste product. Understanding the overall reaction will enable you to determine if photosynthesis is occurring. So the reactants are carbon dioxide and water. If these are used up, that can indicate that photosynthesis is occurring. Or you can look at the products, glucose and oxygen gas, and if those are being produced, that is an indicator that photosynthesis is occurring.